This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut if I don't want to take a day off to make a party for our families? I, 32 female, my husband, 33 male, and our sons, 9 and 6 years old, have recently moved to a new apartment. I took 2 weeks off at my work, so we had enough time to unpack and settle all things out at the new place. I'm supposed to get back to work on Monday. We have a big project on the way, and there's a lot of work waiting for me. Today, my husband told me that we need to invite our families for the housewarming party. He came up with 8 guests plus 2 of us, so there's going to be 10 people in total. Since my husband works Thursday to Sunday evenings and all of the guests have jobs, it has to be evening Monday to Wednesday. My husband said I needed to take a day off on Tuesday in order to get all the dishes ready for 7 p.m. I said I can't ask for a day off the next day I got back to work. Not only will I leave my coworkers with a work float, it might also create a negative impression about me as an employee and affect my future career at my workplace. I suggested making preparations on Monday evening. Prepare snacks in advance and cut salads without adding the sauce, marinate the meat, and prepare all the ingredients for the hot dish. I think the products will make it overnight in the fridge. The only thing remaining for my husband to do is put the hot dish in the oven at the right time on Tuesday. Then I come back from work at 6 p.m., we add the sauce and set the table. He didn't like the idea and said, "So you want me to cook?" I replied, "If you don't want to do that, then you can order from a restaurant, but I'm not going to screw myself at work." He said he isn't a good cook and doesn't want to ruin everything, but we need to greet our guests with homemade food. So he decided to ask his grandmother for help. I need to prepare everything and she's going to come and cook the hot meal. No one told me a thing about it, but I get the vibes from his side of the family like they are not happy that they need to help out with the preparations. So am I wrong here? Am I wrong here? And should have done with what my husband wanted from me. And should I have done what my husband wanted from me? There we go. Sorry, words are hard. So am I wrong here? And should I have done what my husband wanted from me? Am I the astronaut? No, hell no. Hell no. I'm going to go ahead and say hell no here. This is completely understandable, OP. Yeah, no, this is completely understandable. And the fact that you're thinking long-term impact shows maturity on your end. You're thinking about impact to family. And yes, it would be bad with a typical employer if you had time off, you came back, and the day that you were back asked for another day off so that you could prep for a housewarming party. Yeah, that would not be great. It would not be great. And so he has to adult for a little bit, like follow specific instructions that you would give him. That's not cooking, by the way. That's just preparing things that you leave for him. That's not making anything from scratch. It's doing a very, very minor amount of work that he would be guided through with very thorough instructions on your part. You are doing everything that you can here. And if he can't do a little tiny bit, he gets this. He gets the brozo, and that's just, it is a very man-child-like response. And then having to call in reinforcements from grandma? Dude, did we get ages here? Yeah, 33. Dude is 33. It's probably time to learn how to do some basic shit in the kitchen. And this is not asking him like, hey, create a masterpiece. This is like, hey, follow these very simple instructions. And with all of these ingredients, everything is like, you're creating the equivalent of like an easy Mac process for him. It's like, add this to this, cook this long. That's it. It's very, very simple. Your expectations were not overwhelming. Your logic is sound with not wanting to take another day off of work. You're thinking about the impact it would have on you long-term, on your family. Like that would affect him as well. You're not going to risk that just to plan a freaking meal or a party whenever you could do it the night before. He would just have to pitch in a little tiny bit, and him not willing to is garbage. Where does this put him? So OP, not the asshole at all. Where do we put OP's hubby here for pitching such a fit about it, eventually having to tag in grandma? You made it as easy as possible for him, and he's still bucking against it because he doesn't want to take any responsibility at all. Well, guess what? Life's going to get harder from here on out. And he's going to have to learn to do a lot more things for himself or pitch in a lot more. The teamwork approach that a successful marriage takes, in my experience and in my opinion, requires a lot of cross training, right? You're going to have to learn to do things that you aren't comfortable or that you weren't comfortable with previously. And you just have to suck it up and do it. It was his idea to create a lot of work for you, OP. But the minute that you're like, hey, I need you to pitch in to help facilitate the tiniest bit of this, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You want me to cook? I don't want to ruin anything, so instead of trying, I'm just going to call my grandma.